Are you ready for today's DCU update? All right, I've got a couple of kind of menial stories for you here today. One pretty big one that just hit social media, and I'm going to talk about a couple of other things in regards to the DCU as well. But the big story is Batgirl has been saved. My gosh, James Gunn is going to bring Batgirl back and save it from cancellation. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but I want to look at a couple of other things first. And after my last video, I got a couple of comments that kind of struck a chord. One was, what's up with Ben Affleck's Batman? Okay, I'm going to address that here real quick. It's complete silence. That is a good sign. When it comes to contracts and other things and NDAs, if you are not hearing anything, that's a good sign. That means there are talks going on behind the scenes and that things are happening. Does that mean he is going to be the Batman going forward? Maybe, maybe not. I definitely don't see it being Michael Keaton. Nobody wants a 70-year-old Batman. I'm telling you right now, I'm not opposed to Michael Keaton, but I do not want to see a 70-year-old Batman be the DCU Batman. I just don't. Someone else made a comment of it's Robert Pattinson is the DCU Batman. No, he is not, okay? I want to make this very clear in this video. Matt Reeves has really championed hard to make sure that that movie stays in its separate universe. Kind of an Elseworlds type story, that his is going to be completely separate from the connected DCU, all right? He's not the Batman going forward. They're not going to somehow mesh him into the universe. It's not happening. If it does, they're going to have to do some very convoluted thing with the Flash movie, which I don't see them doing. That would just be bizarre, okay? The only real option is to keep Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't see them surviving any other way. I think they need to keep their Trinity intact. And the fact that we're not hearing anything is a good sign from anybody. That means there are talks going on behind the scenes. We haven't heard anything from Cavill since he made his announcement. We haven't heard anything from Affleck. We haven't heard anything from Gal. We haven't heard anything from anybody, which means James Gunn is having conversations with these individuals and their respective agents. So we've got to sit tight and wait for James Gunn to reveal his plans, which is going to lead me to the next part of this. So right after I posted my last video, somebody talked about James Gunn saying he's making plans and, Kingdom Come. They're developing Kingdom Come. He just simply says making plans, and I would not read any more into this other than what James Gunn is actually saying, that he is making plans. This is meant, he's kind of seeing himself as the Superman of the DCU. He's making plans. He's bringing everybody to the table. And that's exactly what's going on, and all eyes are on him, okay? Does this mean they're adapting Kingdom Come? Well, definitely not right now. And if they are going to do a Kingdom Come storyline, that is going to be way down the line. So this is nothing other than him making a tweet showing that he is making plans. But let's take a little bit deeper look into his profile here. And if you guys are not following James Gunn on Twitter, I certainly would. Now, just know that he's going to be heavily promoting the MCU until Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, middle of next year in May. So expect to see a lot of that stuff on. He does still have, he does have an obligation with Marvel and Disney to promote that film. So we are definitely going to see that. There's been a lot of talk about the Ayer cut. David Ayer himself said there is a possibility his movie is going to get released, which is interesting. So again, more Guardians of the Galaxy. So here's something else that James Gunn posted, and I actually posted this on my Twitter account too. This is the first official poster for Blue Beetle, which will come out next year. They actually have a date. I don't see it. I don't think it's on this poster, but they actually do have a release date now. I forget what it is. You can find that information out there. I will maybe bring that information next time. But that's a pretty cool poster. I like it. I think it's I do like the suit for Blue Beetle. I'm looking forward to seeing this along with the Flash, Aquaman, Shazam. There's some pretty entertaining movies coming out. I'm hoping The Flash is good. There isn't a whole lot of movement on The Flash. We are going to take a look at the new Flash suit, though, here in a few minutes, which is pretty interesting. I'm going to show you some interesting stuff. They did release a first official look, because there's two. If you've seen the trailer, the short teaser, there are two different Flash characters in the film, and we get a good look at both of the costumes. So, yeah. Okay, so here's the Batgirl. If James Gunn can somehow save Batgirl or give Leslie Grace another chance to play her, I'll forever be indebted to him. So let's talk about this first, and then we are going to do a quick Google search for the new pictures for the Flash movie. All right, so it was reported today, this is the big story, that Batgirl directors are scheduled to talk with DC Studios boss James Gunn. Bilal Fallah and Adil El-Arabi, the directors behind the canceled Batgirl film, have scheduled a meeting with the new DC Studios head, James Gunn. All right, so does this mean Batgirl is coming back? No, it doesn't. All right, people, you have to understand something. The Batgirl movie was canceled. Warner Brothers Discovery took it as a write-off. That movie can never be released for monetary gains. If it's going to be seen, it would have to be free. They couldn't even do it on a streaming service where people have to pay money. It would have to be on something free like the Roku channel or somewhere where people aren't paying to access it. That is not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a deal with her to play Batgirl in the future, or that these directors won't be given something else. It's very interesting. They did announce on their social media that they do have a meeting coming up with James Gunn, which does not mean that Batgirl is being saved. That movie is a write-off. It can't be saved. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If they say they're going to save it, well, let's put it this way. If they do save it, that means it was never officially canceled and they haven't taken the tax write-off yet. But that was the plan from the beginning, was to take it as a tax write-off. And so they can't do that if they release it. They would have to make some money off of it, unless they've caused so much social media storm behind this that they could profit off of it. Who knows? It just depends. But let's do a quick Google search here for the new Flash suit. So here is the first revised picture of the bat suit. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So let's take a look at this here. This is very interesting. We've got, this is Barry Allen, our Barry Allen, here on the left. This is the new suit. If you've been following the comic book, the new lead up to the Flash movie, there are some officially licensed comics that are dealing with this, and this is the new suit that was given to him and was done by Wayne Tech. So Bruce Wayne supplied this costume for him. So this other Flash on the right is the other version of him. Now, I'm going to point out some interesting things here. We've seen a picture by the director, and if you look at the symbol here on this second Flash, you've got the bat symbol in the middle. And there was a picture, I've actually posted it before, where it's the bat costume with a spray-painted Flash emblem on the front. But that's not the only part that's the Batman costume. If you look at everything else on him, this is the Batman costume repainted to be the Flash costume. If you look at the front torso and everything, this is the new suit that Michael Keaton was wearing. And we're going to go take a look at some of those pictures here in a minute as well. And if you look at the Flash costume, it is the Batman mask, but with the ears cut off, which is kind of interesting. And it looks like he's put some kind of radio device here on the sides. So let's go take a look at Michael Keaton's new Batman costume. I do believe this is the new costume right there. So if we look at that, that is pretty much the Flash costume right there. Same design in the center. I've seen a direct, and I'm not going to continue to look for it, but I believe this is the costume. So if you take everything here and you spray paint it red, that's the Flash costume right there, which is very, very interesting. So there, outside of what I just showed you right now, there hasn't been a whole lot going on with the DC universe as far as the movies go. The comics are another story, and I may start doing videos on the comic books. They are DC Comics, and I'm going to get on my soapbox here for just a minute, is on thin ground right now. They're going to lose a lot of their longtime fans if they don't kind of turn the ship around. All the identity politics going on, and one of the worst is the new Robin series. The new Robin series, and I've been meaning to do a video on this so I could show people, but it looks like something from Archie Comics, and we've come a long way from what Tim Drake was when he first got his series way back when to what it is now. It's all about identity politics. It's not really about him and being Robin and those challenges of being a superhero. It's about him being gay, which is just completely asinine. We also have a new Green Lantern series getting released middle of next year with Hal Jordan finally coming back, and it's written by the worst person possible. I do not know what DC Comics is doing, but I'm like this close to canceling everything and being done and just start collecting stuff from the 70s and 80s, when I grew up, because this is ridiculous. Where they're going with everything, it's not about acceptance anymore. It's not about, they'll tell you it's about acceptance, and then if you don't agree with the things that they're doing, that you're homophobic or transphobic or whatever they want to say, and that's not the case. It's just the fact that that's not why people read comic books. So I will eventually do a video on that as well. I still have to do a video on Indiana Jones and also Rebel Moon. So look for those videos coming up here in the next day or so. I do appreciate the support, and we will see you on the next video.